Deep beneath the most powerful religious institution on earth lies a sealed vault, not guarded by guns, but by silence. A place so restricted, even popes need permission to enter. A place where knowledge isn't preserved, it's imprisoned. This isn't a legend, this is real, and it is called the Vatican Apostolic Archives. In this episode, we journey into the forbidden, into what may be the largest hidden library in human history, where truth is so dangerous it must be kept away from humanity itself. Earthwomb presents the Vatican Archives, secrets the world was never meant to see.
The Vatican Archives, also known until recently as the Secret Archives, are not new. Their story begins over 400 years ago, in the year 1612, when Pope Paul V made a decision that would shape history. He separated a collection of documents from the rest of the Vatican library. He declared that some records were too sacred or too dangerous to be seen by the public. Since then, the archive has grown in silence, and today it holds more than 53 miles of shelving. Yes, you heard that right. 53 miles, locked deep beneath Vatican City, under reinforced vaults, behind guarded doors, exist handwritten letters from kings, medieval trials of scientists, secret communications between popes and dictators, and thousands of sealed documents no historian is allowed to see. But why? What could be so important or so terrifying that it must be buried beneath the world's most powerful religious institution? Let's begin with what we're actually allowed to know. Among the documents scholars have seen are texts that change how we understand history. There's the 1530 letter from King Henry VIII, begging the Pope to annul his marriage. There's the trial transcript of Galileo, a man whose truths were too dangerous for the Church. There are letters exchanged with Hitler, with Mussolini, with Napoleon. Yes, the Vatican communicated directly with the architects of humanity's darkest chapters. There are documents on the Inquisition, on financial dealings, on exorcisms, and on rituals that go back to the early 1300s. And that is just what we've been allowed to see. There are still thousands of shelves holding files marked with one chilling label: Index Prohibitorum, the list of forbidden texts, books on alchemy, demonology, astrology, even ancient technology. Some were banned so long ago, we don't even know what was in them. What makes the Vatican Archive so dangerous isn't just what's inside, it's what's being hidden from us. Throughout history, those in power have always feared one thing: truth, especially when that truth challenges authority, faith, or the stories we've been told. There are rumors of lost gospels buried in the archives, texts that portray a very different vision of early Christianity. Some suggest Jesus had siblings. Others claim his teachings were more political than divine. Then come reports that the Vatican holds ancient maps that show continents long before they were officially discovered, like the Piri Reis map, which outlines Antarctica without ice, centuries before we had satellites. There are also whispers of letters from Templars, from Mesopotamian scholars, speaking of flying machines, underground cities, and even visitors from the stars. Too wild to be true, perhaps. But then, why are these documents locked away? Why does the Vatican spend millions each year to protect this silence? Could it be that beneath the golden altars and marble halls lies a fear that if the world ever learned the whole truth, faith itself would collapse? Over the years, several events have hinted that the Vatican is hiding more than just theology and letters. They're hiding control over knowledge itself. Incident 1. The Vatican Galileo. In 1616, Galileo was summoned to the Vatican and forced to recant his belief that the Earth orbits the Sun. Why? Because it challenged the Church's position that Earth was the center of the universe, a belief that maintained spiritual authority. Galileo's trial transcripts, stored for centuries in the archives, were only partially released in modern times, and still, scholars believe parts are missing. Pages that may show the Vatican knew Galileo was right and feared it would weaken faith if the public accepted it. Incident 2. The Vatican World War II. There are documents confirming correspondence between Pope Pius XII and Adolf Hitler. Critics say the Church stayed silent during the Holocaust. Others claim there are sealed files with lists of Jewish people who were denied sanctuary by the Church. Why were these files kept hidden for 75+ years? Were decisions made in the name of diplomacy or secrecy? Even now, access to wartime records is selectively granted and entire sections remain unavailable. Incident 3. Disappearance of Father Ernetti's Chronicle. In the 1960s, a Vatican-affiliated priest named Father Pellegrino Ernetti claimed to have built a machine called the chronovisor, a device that could show past events using vibrations left in time. He said he witnessed the crucifixion of Christ using the machine. Soon after, Ernetti withdrew the claims and the device vanished. Some believe it was dismantled and hidden in the Vatican archives. Was it a hoax? Or was it a glimpse of forbidden technology, hidden because the world wasn't ready? Final incident. The third secret of Fatima. In 1917, 3 children in Portugal claimed the Virgin Mary shared 3 secrets. With them, 2 of them were revealed, but the third, known as the third secret of Fatima, was kept hidden by the Vatican for over 83 years. When it was finally released in 2000, many researchers said, "This is not the real secret." Theorists believe the real message included apocalyptic visions, criticism of church corruption, or even predictions of global collapse. So what does this mean? The Vatican doesn't just preserve history, it filters it, curates it, protects it from you. It might surprise you to know, not even the Pope has free access to the Vatican archives. The most powerful religious figure on earth must request permission from the prefect of the archives, the chief guardian of the vault. The archives are protected by a multi-layered access system. First, only certified scholars from approved institutions may apply. Second, they must submit a detailed research plan and are allowed access to only specific documents. Third, browsing is strictly forbidden. Fourth, copying is restricted. Photography, heavily monitored. There are over 85,000 volumes stored across 53 miles of shelves, but most researchers only get access to a few folders at a time, and many sections permanently off limits. Here's something even more disturbing. For over 100 years, the archive refused any access to documents after 1939, the year World War II began. It wasn't until 2020, under intense international pressure, that a narrow window of access was opened. And even then, many documents were redacted or missing. So the question becomes, who decides what truths are too dangerous to reveal? And who benefits from the silence? Is the archive a guardian of sacred knowledge, or a prison for human truth? A place where heretics, time machines, ancient books, and inconvenient facts are buried, not in flames, but in cold, bureaucratic darkness. For decades, people have speculated what else might be hidden in the Vatican archives. And the strangest thing, the Vatican never officially denies these theories. Theory 1. Extraterrestrial contact. Some conspiracy researchers believe the Vatican possesses records of alien visitations long before the term UFO even existed. Ancient papal scrolls allegedly mention star beings descending in fiery chariots from the sky. Even in old religious paintings, there are mysterious circular objects behind angels or deities that look eerily like modern-day UFOs. And here's where it gets even weirder. The Vatican operates one of the world's most powerful space observatories called VIT in Arizona. And the telescope next to it? It's called LUCIFER. Coincidence or a code? Theory 2. Proof of ancient civilizations. There are whispers that the Vatican holds pre-flood era texts written by civilizations that existed before known history. Documents recovered from Babylon, Sumer, and ancient India. Speaking of flying machines, genetic engineering, weapons of mass destruction, divine teleportation, or godlike walk. One theory claims the Vatican holds blueprints for technologies we haven't invented yet, but once existed. Theory 3. Occult rituals and demonology. Among the most restricted parts of the archive, some say lie forbidden grimoires, books listing demon names, black alchemy, and ancient summoning rituals. Researchers have claimed these are not fiction, but records of real attempts to contact non-human intelligences. From exorcism transcripts to journals from possessed monks, some of these rituals were recorded and studied by the church itself. Are these just ancient fantasies? Or did the church lock them away, not because they were false, but because they were true? Imagine for a moment the sealed vaults of the Vatican archives are thrown wide open. Every scroll, every forbidden gospel, every hidden letter now belongs to the world. What happens then? Would religion collapse? Would history books be rewritten? Would people lose their faith or find something even deeper? What if the archives prove that truth is far more complex than belief, that good and evil aren't black and white, but layered, grey, contradictory? Could humanity handle a version of reality that doesn't center around them? Could we bear to know that we were lied to for centuries for our own good? And if one vault like the Vatican Archives exists, how many others are still hidden, sealed, protected, locked away from the world? In the end, the Vatican Archives are more than just shelves of paper. They are a mirror, reflecting our fear of what might happen if the curtain is ever pulled back. Maybe it's not just about religion, maybe it's about power, the power to control truth. Imagine for a moment the sealed vaults of the Vatican Archives are thrown open. Everything, every forbidden scroll, every erased gospel, every hidden letter becomes available to the world. What would happen? Would religion collapse? Would history books be rewritten? Would people lose their faith or find something even deeper? What if the archives prove that truth is far more complex than belief, that good and evil aren't black and white, but grey, layered, contradictory? Could humanity handle a version of reality that doesn't center around them? Could we bear to know that we were lied to for centuries for our own good? And if one vault like the Vatican Archives exists, how many others are out there, sealed, protected, hidden from the world? In the end, the Vatican Archives are more than shelves of paper. They are a mirror, reflecting our fear of what might happen if the curtain is pulled back. Maybe it's not about religion. Maybe it's about power, the power to control truth. So the next time someone tells you, this is how history happened, or this is what God said, ask yourself, who wrote it down? Who was allowed to read it? And who was silenced? The truth may not be dead. It's just filed away in a room you were never meant to enter.
You've just glimpsed a world few are allowed to see, a vault of secrets, a silence that's louder than truth. But this is only the beginning. At Earth Womb, we don't just tell stories. We dig beneath them, into the hidden, the forbidden, and the forgotten. If you believe truth deserves light, not walls, then stay with us, because the next secret we uncover might just change how you see the world. Follow Earth Womb, because what they buried, we bring back to life.